Finite power doesn't scare me as much, but that Raza is nasty. So Tyler has. Oh, there we go. Yeah, Tyler has initiative. If you have what is that called? Not best late. It's his no cards with a teamwork can be played. That's
So it's called To the Last Man, which
to the
is
last
Tyler.
man. Thank you, Joe.
Tyler just tried to play that to shut down all cards with the word teammate, and Phil negated it and then fired right back with the teamwork, which is, again, you've seen this Cadillac. That's what it wants to do, is just pressure you with those strings.
Yeah, so to the last man is probably his best single card in the deck that doesn't need any help. But
yeah, so he got
you almost certainly lead with that card. So now he does have that negate in field, so Raza is less of a worry now.
Yeah, Raza, the Grim Reaper, the draw 3.
Yeah,
and even potentially the Scarlet Witch is a void, a discard placed if that's really depending on what that's going to get. Goes good at the flexibility.
Yeah, and those Scarlet Witch discard a place cards. Most traditional Cadillac players don't play it, which is
I think is a huge. I think it's I completely disagree with that build.
Absolutely,
I run at least one.
Yeah, especially going against a lockout deck, you need to place those to kind of line it up. It very rarely you don't get them all in the same hand. You have to kind of bide your time, and that Scarlet Witch says, "No, you're not gonna get them all."
I 100% agree. That's exactly what as soon as I see a deck that has a lockout strategy, that's what I do is I pick those off with that card. So Ty's drawn his new hand. He's got a 4. Ty managed to get that non-numerical. So there's a lot of newer cards that you're going to see. That card that's on Dracula, that's going to remain in play, and anything that's not a numerical special that's played offensively, that card can be discarded to negate it. Now, the interesting thing is the way that those cards read, Dracula is, as the character, is the one that has to make the discard. So if Phil can manage to kill Dracula with the teamwork strings, that card essentially becomes useless. He can't use it with his other characters once Dracula is dead.
Oh, and he places another one. That's he's just building them up. That's great.
That's really cool. That's the first time I think Ty's ever played multiple copies.
Yeah, I mean it's very good, but like you said, when Dracula's dead, it becomes dead. Whereas, for example, Polaris, the Marvel card says Polaris's team can.
There's to the man.
Oh wow, Phil has Phil has 2 teamwork cards at least in his hand. I think Phil just jokingly said he was.
Yeah.
I think.
Wow.
1, 2 teamworks in hand, 2 placed, an ally, and that defense. That was 6 cards to 1.
And Ty only went 2 because he wasn't sure if he had the negate, but I think Phil jokingly picked up his ally and pretended like he was going to negate it with the ally. All right, so he's going to make him get rid of the other non-numerical negate.
Interesting, which he's going to discard and then replay. That's great.
Okay, so he's slow playing and making Phil kind of
burn through his cards,
punch himself out.
Yeah, what he wants here is Phil to have to run without eating up any of his other placed cards. So it looks like Phil's got the 7 any power in his hand after this 8 goes through. So the question is just going to be, is Ty going to be able to generate enough venture or defend his guys enough?
Avoid the 8.
Well, he has the 4 to the 7, and what we know is the 7 will hit Scarlet Witch. No, it won't because he has the 7 any.
And he has the avoid on the home base. So he fires through with an onslaught 7. Nice. He's going to use the 7 any. Phil is really good about always playing his cards from hand first. So when he does have to run, he's not giving up that placing advantage. So if you look, even though he's going to be in a bad situation venture-wise, when he goes into next battle, he's going to have 7 cards that he has access to. Ty's only going to have access to 5.
Yeah,
Ty does have the place negate, so technically 6 because you'll notice Phil do that a lot.
That attack he just made puts a lot of pressure on Ty because he'd have to block the 4 He doesn't
He
have. He
ran.
can't block it. He took it. Yeah.
He
So
decided to keep his 8 and betting
Wow.
2 with To the Last Man. I guess he was just scared of the negate, but it's so oppressive. You have to take advantage of what it can do this battle, because next battle you're going to get creamed.
Yeah. There's so much
What a
KO
great
pressure
bluff
on
from
Dracula
Phil,
now
too.
too.
Oh, there we go. No, the event, no attacks with an energy icon can be played. Or no, they can't be played at all, right? Is that
You know, cards with an energy icon can use to attack.
to attack? So it still can be used to defend.
Yeah. That means Phil on his front line currently has 2 cards that he can use to attack with. The ally on Witch and then the Raza.
So you're going to probably see a pretty large venture from Tyler this battle, even though he is down placement.
Ty is out a couple of cards here. So Ty can't play his 7 energy attack. He can't play. Oh, that's interesting. So
Love it.
double shot can be combined with the strength card. That's. Oh, we got a little bit of a flicker on the camera. Okay, it looks like we're coming back.
The gerbil fell off the wheel.
Get back on there, gerbil.
I think we're. There we go. So that double shot card combines with the 4. That allows Spider-Girl to make an attack at a level 8, or either character can defend an 8. But my suspicion is Ty's playing that for when he goes up against those battle sites. When he goes up against a battle site, he's going to be able to throw those, and they won't be defendable by cards from a battle site. That'll give him a lot of opportunity to math out situations where he knows that won't be able to block, and it will hit as 2 different power types. So I think if you see Ty in a later match, that's going to be a sneaky hit that he gets through, where he's going to get some people, he's going to kill some people with it that aren't going to be expecting it.
Yeah. In this case, though, it's more than likely going to be used to just help defend Dracula, who's already got one multicolor hit and 1 fighting power card hit.
Yeah, it's interesting if Dracula's your crutch on your team, to let a multi-power card hit when you have defense.
AJ
did bet 3. It's I guess
Tyler.
it's
Tyler bet 3.
Yeah,
sorry, Tyler. Yeah, but my bad.
Dracula being his only 8 ranker, he probably isn't playing 3 in there, so that might be his
So
top.
keep in mind, though, Tyler's playing an Asclepion deck, and we have not seen a single healing card come out. So that home base that Tyler's playing, it allows you to play a card. If it heals only hits from a permanent record, it allows you to then draw another card and immediately throw an attack. And he's playing multiple characters with the ability to heal. So I think sooner or later we're going to see some kind of card come out that's going to heal.
Yeah, Keith and I actually talked about that earlier.
He's going for the lockout. Oh, no, that's the event one. Sorry.
The Gateway is the only healing card he has besides off of his battle site.
But the ones off of his battle site are pretty significant.
Yeah.
Dracula himself does have a healing card, but it's not worth playing generally. You play it with a fighting power card attack. If the attack is successful, he removes all hits of an equal or lesser value. But Dracula's fighting grid, I believe, is only a 5. And actually, the version he's playing, I think it might be even less.
A 4. Yeah.
Only a 4. So that's not. I can't imagine Tyler playing that card. But I think he's probably banking off just using the ones off the battle site. He plays enough defense. He only needs just enough to keep him alive. He doesn't need to base the entire strategy of the deck around it. He needs just enough to use the defense for the other 3 characters to keep him sustained.
In classic Phil Miller fashion, Tyler ventures 3. He has an 11, and he does have the venture reset Hades card. So it looks like Phil's going to be able to keep pressure on.
As we talked about before, it's so fascinating to me.
Yeah.
Here we go.
There's the heal.
Yeah, healed both the hits. Oh, just the one, just the strength. So.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's overhaul. So that heals all hits with a strength icon. So he healed off the multi. He's going to be allowed to then draw a card and then make an attack with Dracula. He chose
Did
not
he-
to make the attack.
But he did draw a card. Okay.
He drew the card, but the attack is a May. He doesn't have to make the attack. And now he's trying to decide how is he going to deal with this 11. So finite power hit Spider-Girl. I imagine Phil was using that to test the water and see if the 11 would be successful. If he had a full avoid or a negate. Oh,
He already used a full avoid from Holocaust, so yep, the lockout.
right. He's doing protective plates. That's his one per deck off his site. That's going to lock out the Reavers. So he's got a little bit of a double lockout going on the most important characters.
Yeah, he's really trying to protect that 3 venture, but he just doesn't know that Phil can then reset it.
He might be able to get the KO
Oh, that's
pressure
good.
enough.
So, Donald Pierce isn't affected by the event, so now he can throw that 7.
Ah.
Oh, super interesting. The other thing to keep in mind, Phil's trying to bait him to use that non-numerical negate. It seems like he doesn't want to do it. He could have negated the. Is he finally going to do it?
Yeah, he couldn't let
Phil's-
Spider-Girl get hit with the Raza because then it would get rid of the backup for the double shot as well as the 8.
Great point, Keith. I think Phil is definitely a little bit in the lead here. I mean, Phil can't throw any more of his offensively placed cards, but he's got a full avoid and a 6 or less avoid.
He's
I
gonna
think Ty's
gonna
gonna
keep
try
going.
to just keep punching through. I mean, I think this is the right thing to do too. Like, just eat up as much of that placing advantage as this Cadillac has. And with the Raza and the 11 gone too, he's also done the hardest part of getting through everything but the draw 3 on the Starjammers. I did not even see he had that.
Yeah, we got to get
Grim
those
Reaper.
hand cam.
Wow, it hits.
So that discards up to 4 cards with an icon of Phil's choice. Phil has chosen Intellect. It gets rid of an 8 multi, the 8 Intellect, a Teamwork or the double shot, and an Onslaught activator, and takes the teeth right out of.
That's that was huge.
So Ty's in an interesting position. Ty doesn't realize that he has won this hand.
So he just showed him that he's going to reset the venture. So
I have a tournament update. Greg Costa, unfortunately, lost to VJ23. VJ23 now 3-0 lead in the tournament.
Ooh, VJ23?
So Phil did just use the Hades for the venture reset.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's pretty crushing. Now he couldn't capitalize on his lockout. He couldn't capitalize on his no energy event, and Phil is in a very good position to win. So, barring
he's got a placement advantage of 5-2.
Yeah. So unless
Greg just doesn't have. So I was just saying, Greg doesn't have the damage on it to really pressure.
6-2 as well. Yeah.
Tyler's gonna have to hope that Phil gets some dupes and he can place Runaway and come back.
Yeah, because it is Phil is 2-4-1, so
yeah,
could be betting big.
If he's up with that placing advantage, you might just go 4 and then 2 for the win. And here come all the he's got his negate. He's getting teamwork follow-ups. Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing with a Cadillac. If you can't get rid of one of those characters, it plays so many teamworks, it's just going to fill that board back up.
So I just got off the phone with Greg. Apparently it was a bloodbath and he played against Vlad.
Oh, so Vlad's undefeated. That's awesome. So I'll talk to everyone. We'll get Vlad on camera for the next round.
So Vlad will probably play the winner of this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be excellent.
We're gonna unless that'll be 3 games that Phil's been on on camera.
We have to rotate some other people in too.
Yeah, depending if Tyler.
But that'll be good for the first 4 rounds. We'll keep those undefeated people jumping in.
Right, here's Phil's venture. Oh, only the 2 from the top.
It's interesting.
Right.
Well, to the last hand, have to get rid of that negate.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see what Tyler ventured, but he is behind on placing, so he's probably just going to hope to get a placing card or 2.
Oh, discard the power card.
So Phil's playing the discard a placed card. It's opponent, so it has to be negated. I think you're going to see the 8 go away. Tyler's got the Magneto mission to the side on his top pile. So he's ventured. It looks like he's just gone 1. I can't see more than 1.
Yeah. He's
I mean,
right now he's just trying to get rid of that placing advantage before he runs away. But as you said earlier, Phil doesn't like to do that.
He was trying to see if he could sneak in the hit as well as heal 1 off of Dracula. I got blocked.
Plays the 1, which will act as a 2, but he has another multi in his hand. So he could make that 3rd follow-up.
Ty plays his Master Mold to block a power card attack. Phil's going to continue throwing, so he's got a 4 coming in.
Yeah. So, yeah, he used Master Mold against the 1. 4's probably going to go through, and then you'll see him run. Yep.
Yeah.
It's just when you're backpedaling against the Cadillac, it just doesn't let up.
Now he has managed to reduce that lead, so now they're at least going into the next hand. It's only 5 cards to 4 cards. And don't forget, Ty's a great player. He knows, ooh, interesting. I think that is that discard all placed universe cards?
Yes, because Post isn't Pierce isn't affected.
Oh, that's so cool. I'm like, oh, is he forgetting to discard his own? So that's great. So that, I mean, Phil's not far enough ahead on Venture that doesn't turn the table a little bit.
Well, the placement advantage is now Phil has 4, and
that is great.
Ty has 1, 2, 3. Also has 4.
Very sneaky.
Both to draw 3. Then negate.
Yeah, that's Ty's been making a really fantastic use of the post. I think that card's called Obfuscate. Is that the one that lets in?
Yeah.
The Obfuscate, making Donald Pierce able to ignore those events, has been a really big factor in a lot of these battles, keeping Ty in this game. So Ty places a 6 any power. It places the avoid when attack can't be attacked. He can play the teamwork. Bill's looking at how many he has to bet to go for the win. He's probably banking on Tyler not having a way to stop the draw 3. Oh, that's a great card.
He's betting for the win.
Yeah.
So Tyler draws his 2 extra cards.
Looks like they're both keepers.
Ty bets his 2. Now keep in mind, if he can use both of those placed cards on Dracula, the gateway card that's placed to his home base.
Yeah, it looks like we've got Pretty Boy, Paralyzing Gaze. If he has another way to lock, he might.
So I think. Sorry, go ahead, Shawn.
I'm just speculating if he has something in his hand to lock out a Spider Girl, then he would have full team lockout.
So Phil, if you're wondering what he was just doing right there, I believe he played. I didn't see it, but there's the new Any Hero card allows you to look at the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal one card, and put it in hand. He revealed a web-headed wizard, which what that means is it's called the Gemini now, the new version. So that would give Phil the ability to go pull any card that he wants from his dead pile and play it. So you may see him try to draw 3. If it gets negated, he may play that and then just go get the draw 3 again. He's betting for the win, and that gives him access to 6 extra cards.
And I think you were right. He is trying to burn those Dracula cards. He might lock himself out and then heal.
He just showed a negate. What did he negate? He's going to try to put some pressure on the Starjammers. Now, Bill has that draw 3, but he doesn't have a lot of defense.
And it's
He doesn't want to have to use
that
a full.
Right,
so he took it. He's drawn us 3 cards.
It's interesting
Based on what he.
Sorry, go ahead.
Had to get rid of 1. You got to keep 2 from the draw 3.
What were you saying, Shawn?
It's interesting that he's targeting the Starjammers, whereas his deck has lockouts and he's not getting rid of the negate. Now, maybe it's because he went for the win. He doesn't want to go by venture.
So Phil has to decide if he wants to negate this. Ty is trying to offensively lock out his own character. That would make it so Dracula can't attack, but also can't be attacked. Phil lets it go through, fires back with spawns 4, make an additional. And the Enlightened one is a 7 intellect attack. Ty's going to avoid it with a 9 or less avoid. So Ty is still up on venture by 1. Now he's going to do the gateway, which we expected.
Ooh,
And then that's worthy of his negate.
Yeah.
It's worthy of his negate, but if Ty does have that lockout, it's surprising that Phil just ate up the ability to get past it. I guess he doesn't. He probably wouldn't have let the 4 hit had he had the lockout, which gives Phil that information.
Right. And also, he already used his battle site lockout. So
yep.
He knows that he still has a target in Spider-Girl.
What number power card is that?
3. That is a 3 strength.
3 strength from the image.
That is from image.
I guess he went and got the draw 3.
Which we knew was going to happen. That's definitely the play when you're going for the win.
Yeah.
Fires off with the 8.
Yeah, 9 or less avoid.
I have to say, I honestly think, well, no, he's got I was going to say maybe he should have fired the lockout off onto spawn to like try to eat up a defensive card, but.
Oh, Jesus.
Good game.
That's the handshake. It was just the placing advantage, the draw 3s. The Cadillac did what it does, and it was just too much.
And I have to say, like, the Cadillac also drove pretty perfectly there. We saw almost no discards from Phil Miller the entire game.
Yeah. Credit to Tyler. He's great with Dracula, and he did fight his way back, but he put himself in a position to win. But Phil Miller and the Cadillac is just too much today.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. I mean, it's a long tournament, and Ty was 2-0, so that's only 1 loss. He's running very well with this deck. He's got some great tricks up his sleeve, and most of his matches will be against battle sites. So I think there's a good chance we're looking at 2 people who are going to make the top 8.
Oh, for sure. We'll see Tyler again.
Joe, do you know if the plan is after this round that they're going to take the lunch break, or are they going to do round 4 before the lunch?
I'm not sure, but it's almost 1 o'clock. I would assume we were going to do the lunch break next.
Yeah.
So Phil Miller and Vlad are the only undefeateds left in the field.
So Phil's probably going to be on camera for 3 matches this time. See if Vlad can figure out how to take down the Cadillac. That'll be a fun match as well because Vlad and Phil are from the same area and they practice together. So I feel like if anyone's used to playing Phil, not going to be intimidated by it, it's going to be Vlad.
Yeah, for sure.
Good point. It's like when I play you, there's nothing you can do to threaten me.
I'd say absolutely. That's, I just can't win. Now, I will say I'm coming off. I did make it to the finals in the smaller Friday night tournament. It was a max 7 tournament where you had to use any heroes, but I used a Cyclops deck, and I don't want to toot my own horn, but it did very, very well.
Your 2 favorite characters, Banshee and Cyclops. I'm happy you got to play them. And happy it ran well. So I didn't hear, are Tyler's family, did they also come down from Canada?
I know Howard did. I don't know if Derek did. Just 'cause I saw Howard amongst the Max 7 decks, his deck list yesterday.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember if I saw Derek.
Yeah, it's recently it's rare we get all 3 of them. Life happens.
Marcel is there?
That was a good match. Right now we're waiting for Dave to finish against Larry, John Keffer versus Marcel,
Oh, Marcel
and
is there. Excellent.
Howard versus Samuel. How would you describe this last game?
Personally, it's